It's time we start having a serious talk about this punter, Tory Taylor, getting Heisman votes. Before you start typing away how no punter should ever be taken seriously when considered for the Heisman, just hear me out, okay? What constitutes a Heisman winner? The award is designed to be given to the most impactful player in college football. And currently, when we're looking at just statistics, the player who's the best at their position might just be a punter. And currently, Tory Taylor is on track to break records that, quite frankly, we haven't even set, okay? In Iowa's extremely defensive-heavy game plan, their offense consistently stalls, averaging only 232 yards a game. This is not a lot. As you can imagine, one must come to think how they are currently sitting at 3-1. Even with a great defense, you can't average driving less than 3 lengths of the field and have a lot of success. Well, unless you get yards somewhere else, which is where we introduce Mr. Taylor. He is averaging a hefty 7 punts a game and has a total of, hear this, 1,323 yards of punting beneath him. That's a 47-yard average. That's not even where your mind should be blown. Because while he is averaging almost half the entire length of the field every time he steps out, which is nice, as most people know, it's not about how far you put the ball, it's where you put it. And this is where most people's jaws drop. So not only are 60% of his total punts ending up inside the 20-yard line, so not only is he flipping half the field, but he's putting them backed up in meaningful, deep situations for his defense to work, but a majority of those punts even end up inside the 10 and the 5. So let's break down his 4 games. Against South Dakota State University, he put 7 out of 10 of his punts inside the 20, and the starting field position for the 3 that weren't inside the 20 was the 20. He had 2 touchbacks and a 51-yarder that was fair caught on the 20-yard line. Now, 5 of those 7 were inside the 10, and 3 of the 5 inside the 10 were inside the 5, resulting in 2 safeties and a field goal off a jackrabbit offensive and special teams miscues. Every punt that didn't result in SDSU starting inside the 10 resulted in long-term for no points for Iowa. Taylor's punts were 100% of the reason why they won that game 7-3. The next game was a shootout, all things considered, with a final score of 7-10. It's worth noting that a block punt led to Iowa's only offensive touchdown up to this point in the season, and it required them starting on their own 16-yard line. That's what we're working with here. 2 were inside the 20, and 1 resulted in a second block punt to give their offense the ball on the 20-yard line where they still would not score. Regardless, Taylor would average 50.7 yards per punt, more than doing his part in flipping the field. Against Nevada, the 27-0 score may lead you to believe that their offense started clicking, but that is simply not the case, as Taylor still had 7 punts. From here, the first 2 touchdowns came from the positive 41-yard line. Only other touchdown would come on a huge 55-yard run. Is against the same Nevada that an FCS team put 50 points up on. But Tory's field position once again played a huge factor into their only points this game. Finally, against the Rutgers game, where 14 points came off of a pick 6 and a scoop and score, Iowa had a very rare offensive drive for a touchdown. Taylor started the Knights inside their own 20, 80% of the game, and inside their own 10, 60% of the time. 2 of those times helped Iowa make sure that their turnovers immediately returned into scores, only having to return the ball a total of 60 yards off of the fumble and pick 6 return. So all in all, Taylor's impact on the game cannot be understated. He continuously buries teams inside their own 5, which Iowa capitalizes on and uses to win more games. In multiple of these games, even an average performance, or heck, even a good performance, would still have resulted in a loss by Iowa. If Taylor puts all his punts on or outside the 10-yard line against SDSU, they do not win that game. If one player's performance at an extremely high level is a direct cause of adding multiple wins and losses in such an obvious level as Taylor's case, I don't know what wouldn't cause him to have Heisman consideration. I'm not saying he should win it. I'm just saying it'd be wrong to assume he doesn't at least deserve 1 vote. And if he doesn't have anything else, he's got my vote. So those are my thoughts. Let me know what you all think below in the comments. As always, I hope you guys are having an amazing day, and peace.